It's almost unbelievable. The three-time world champion, the man who once made Formula One look predictable, now finds himself on the back foot. Max Verstappen, the unstoppable force of Red Bull, is suddenly chasing shadows. 36 points. That's the gap between him and the orange wall of McLaren. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri have turned the championship into a storm no one saw coming. And for the first time in years, Verstappen isn't the hunter. He's the hunted. But let's pause for a second. Did we really think Max would just fade away? Did we really believe the man who dominated entire eras would go quietly into the night? Not a chance. This is the calm before the comeback. Maybe Max just let McLaren lead for a bit, to make Netflix's next Drive to Survive season actually interesting. All right, focus. Because what's brewing inside Red Bull right now isn't panic. It's precision, a calculated blueprint to take back control. This is not the story of a fall. It's the story of a reset. The season began with Red Bull still riding the high of 2024's dominance. They had pace, they had reliability, they had Max. But Formula One moves fast, and while Red Bull were refining perfection, McLaren were reinventing it. Their mid-season upgrades flipped the field. The MCL 39's aerodynamic efficiency, the way it chews through medium-speed corners, the balance under braking, it all exposed Red Bull's one weakness: floor sensitivity. Suddenly, Verstappen's car wasn't glued to the tarmac anymore. It danced, but not the kind of dance he liked. Each weekend became a battle for balance, for consistency, for a car that didn't bite back. And while Max was fighting physics, Lando Norris was fighting history and winning. His first wins came not through luck, but pure blistering speed. But beneath the headlines of McLaren's rise, Verstappen's silence was louder than ever, because if you know Max, you know that silence means something's coming. Inside the Red Bull factory, simulations are running day and night. The team that once mastered ground effect aero is now rewriting its own rulebook. The focus? Reclaiming mechanical grip and reducing porpoising under lateral load. Their upcoming floor update, codenamed internally as Project Phoenix, aims to recover the downforce lost through McLaren's clever diffuser manipulation. It's the final piece in Verstappen's comeback puzzle. But here's where the story gets interesting. Red Bull aren't just relying on upgrades, they're relying on mind games. Every interview, every subtle statement, every setup change in free practice, it's part of a psychological chess match. Because if there's one thing Verstappen understands better than anyone, it's momentum. And right now, he knows how to turn pressure into power. You can almost imagine Christian Horner whispering, "We're fine," while secretly downloading McLaren's telemetry on an iPad. Now let's talk strategy. The remaining races, places like Qatar, Brazil, Las Vegas and Abu Dhabi, are circuits where Max historically thrives. Long straights, heavy braking zones and corner sequences that reward confidence over caution. That's Verstappen's territory, and he knows it. Red Bull's engineers are focusing on power delivery mapping, optimizing the Honda-branded PU's torque curves to recover mid-corner exit speeds, where McLaren currently edges them out. But the real secret weapon? Tyre management. McLaren's pace advantage has come at a cost: higher degradation over long runs. Verstappen, on the other hand, remains the master of tyre whispering. Give him an extra 2 laps of grip, and he'll turn that into 5 seconds on track. He's already shown glimpses of what's coming. The last few weekends we've seen moments, little flashes of that vintage Verstappen control. Lap after lap, consistency, patience in dirty air, and that signature precision, the one that turns risk into rhythm. The blueprint isn't about reinventing Max Verstappen, it's about releasing him, reminding the world that the champion doesn't forget how to win. Smash that like. Because this isn't just another comeback narrative. This is a tactical war between two philosophies: McLaren's data-driven innovation versus Red Bull's ruthless execution. McLaren are brilliant at iteration, constant small improvements, constant data refinement. Red Bull? They don't play by gradual rules, they find breakthroughs. They go big or go home. And this is where Verstappen thrives when it's when it's all or nothing. He doesn't chase perfection, he dominates through chaos. We saw it in his debut wins. We saw it in his title fights with Hamilton. And now we're about to see it again, against a team that dares to believe the torch has been passed. Subscribe before Max wins again. Because here's the thing, the numbers may say Norris is leading, but history tells us something different. When the pressure peaks, Verstappen transforms. He doesn't crack, he calculates, and if you've followed Formula One long enough, you know championships aren't won on points alone. They're won in moments. Moments like these. Every great comeback begins with belief, but Verstappen's plan is built on precision. He knows that in F1, momentum is everything. Once the tide turns, it's unstoppable. The goal for the next few rounds? Trigger the shift. All he needs is one dominant weekend. One race where everything clicks again. The perfect setup, the perfect strategy, the perfect execution. Because the moment that happens, the psychological balance flips. Remember, 2022 after Singapore, one weekend turned the tide. That's the exact kind of turnaround Verstappen and Red Bull are hunting. They're also quietly adjusting pit stop strategies. Red Bull have always been kings of the 2-second stop, but they're now experimenting with undercut-optimized timing, using real-time machine learning to predict when McLaren's pace will drop. And when it does, they'll strike. Imagine being Norris leading by 2 seconds, only to see that neon Red Bull appear behind you like a horror movie jump scare. But strategy alone won't win this. What makes Verstappen's blueprint different is mental discipline. He's been calmer on the radio, less reactive, more calculated, because he's not racing the drivers, he's racing the system. He knows the FIA rules, the weather patterns, the tyre allocations, down to the smallest variable. He's studying the season like a chessboard. And that's what scares McLaren the most, because when Verstappen is quiet, he's not broken, he's building. He's building a storm that McLaren's data can't simulate. He's building a resurgence that analytics can't measure. He's building a finale that could go down as one of the greatest comebacks in Formula One history. And here's the scary part. He's doing it with experience. McLaren have the car, Red Bull have the legacy, but Verstappen, he's got both. In the final stretch of the season, we're heading into tracks where driver instinct matters more than software. High-temperature circuits, variable winds, unpredictable grip levels, these are Max's hunting grounds. If he nails Qatar or Brazil, the championship will be back on his side. If he wins both, it's over. Because once Verstappen gets rolling, you don't stop him. You just survive him. Like the video now. And the fans can feel it too. The roar of support, the chants, the endless debates online. Everyone's split. Are we witnessing the end of an era or the rebirth of one? That uncertainty fuels the sport. That's why people tune in. Because deep down, even those rooting against him know Formula One feels different when Verstappen's chasing destiny. As one engineer put it, you can beat Red Bull once, maybe twice, but over a season, that's a whole other war. And that's what's about to unfold. The final chapters of a rivalry that could define modern Formula One. So as the engines fire up for the next race, remember this. Max Verstappen's comeback isn't just about points, it's about legacy. It's about rewriting the script, and from dominance to doubt and back to dominance again. He's not just fighting for another title, he's fighting to prove that greatness doesn't fade. It evolves. Who takes the title now? If you've made it this far, you already know. This title fight isn't over. Max Verstappen's comeback is loading, and the next few races could change everything. So make sure to like the video, subscribe for the next update, and watch our follow-up. Lando Norris versus Max Verstappen. The rivalry F1 needed. Because this season isn't just racing, it's redemption, it's revenge, it's Verstappen.